What's going on? This is Teal from What Would Teal Say Photography. Thank you for tuning in. Ah, this is we wrapping up season 2, baby. We wrapping it up. Episode 10. This is it. But we're gonna go back to the essence of this channel, which is essentially let me rock you out right there. It's a little out of focus. We're gonna get in focus. We're gonna get in there. You know. Let me get you. There you go. But we're gonna go back to the very basics and essence of this episode with what the channel is about: photography. The philosophy of photography, and I wanted to go on and talk about the power of lighting. I've spoke to countless photographers about this, about lighting. Lighting can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? It can be very intimidating, I've recently had a conversation with a fellow photographer about lighting, and I basically told him, it's all about angles when it comes to lighting. Every angle is going to give you a different perspective. In some cases, you might have to bump up your ISO, maybe 1600, so you can take advantage of your shutter speed. And there are people that are going to disagree with me. There are people that are going to agree with me. And there's some people that are going to be in the middle. You know what? There are guidelines with shooting with light. But you know what? You don't necessarily have to stick with them, because once you set up your lights the way you visualize how you want your photo to come, you're gonna have to make adjustments, and some adjustments might be unorthodox. You might bump up one light, you may turn down one light, you might super bump up the other. It's something my father used to tell me, and I tell photographers all the time: learn the rules, and then learn how to bend them, but don't break them. All right. So, you gotta, and practice. Yes, I myself was intimidated by light. I myself I was the daylight warrior, natural light warrior. I was too. I ain't gonna lie. Until a good friend of mine called me out. I was like, yo, you gotta learn it. You can't call yourself a professional of any kind if you cannot deal with the most basics of all basics in your field, in which in our case is lighting. So I took the time and relearned lighting. I understood natural lighting. I understood, how to silhouette and things of that nature, how to properly expose, and that's kind of why I went into film photography, because with film photography, everything is about lighting, and learning how to properly read the light so you can meter properly. With digital, the camera's doing most of the work. You take that snapshot, you kind of see what you want to do, what you don't want to do, and then you just continuously make your adjustments. I say don't be afraid of lighting. Don't be afraid of it. Don't let it take you down. It's something you have to learn. And you got to start the very, very basic, which is the inverse laws, and how power works in different distances, and how the camera works, as well as far as how it reads that light. I'm not going to go into that, because you can search YouTube and find that information, but it is terms that you should be aware of and how that works. Your library, and read up on those things. And reading up is going to be a big thing. You know, lighting is everything when it comes to photography. It, you know, photo is light molecules. So you cannot escape it. Don't try to escape it. Embrace it. Ask questions. Workshops. See what your local camera stores is doing and providing. I mean, there are so many resources that you can use to improve on your photography. Your photography is won't have any justice done to it if you're not using proper lighting. Now, me personally, this is my personal opinion. Depending on what type of photography you're doing, a good bulk of my work is street photography, but I also do portrait photography. So with portrait photography, especially if you're doing in studio work, you're gonna need lighting, unless you got a huge 10-foot window or something, you can use natural light. And even in those cases, you want to still use light. I personally not a big fan of using lighting outdoors. I understand the purpose of it. I'm personally just not a fan of it. I don't like the blown out look. Sue me. I don't. It is not a look of. It's not a favorite look of mine at all. But everyone likes what they like. Your editorial fashion photographers and definitely ain't gonna like my statement, but kick rocks. I don't care. There, you do what you do. I do what I do. And we can all live as one big happy family. So that's my take with lighting. Don't be afraid of it. Learn how light works, and what I was saying earlier, lighting is definitely about angles. There is no lack of better word. There's no right or wrong way. You're just going to get a different look. See how that light just slices on my other side of the face? There you go. You see how that light, then I cut back, you see, then I go back. See, the light changes all different angles. That's all it is. It all depends on what you're visualizing, what the concept is, and understanding that your lighting changes with angles. Once you understand that, and I also recommend, one of my favorite genres of art is painting. I love painting, because you can really get an understanding of lighting, especially portrait paintings and how it works. I enjoy looking at different arts because I take something from each art and I try to incorporate it into my work, and seeing how I can make it better, and things of that nature. So study, books, workshops, YouTube. Don't be afraid to invest in your education, as far as learning goes, because the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it, and you're gonna be great. You'll be comfortable. You'll be confident. And you being confident, you make your clients confident as well. Because you also got to remember the psychology of photography is its own beast as well. People come to you with all their quirks and insecurities and things. Your job is to make them feel comfortable. And if you look nervous and out of place, guess what? They ain't going to be comfortable and you're not going to get the photo that you want. So you taking the time to invest in yourself is definitely the way to go. You know, it'll build your confidence because you know more information. You know you are the professional. You can make the proper adjustments that you need to make in case things don't go right. You know, what are your thoughts? You know, what do you do to improve on areas that you may consider not the strongest? You know, and for my professionals out there, are you still doing continuous education? You know, what are you doing to improve your skill sets? You know, because this idea that pros don't continue their education per se, or don't continue to sharpen their skills. My pros, what do you do to sharpen your skills? You know, what advice do you have for your fellow photographers that are working to get where you at? Because you were once there too. You know, so leave a comment, drop a thought, let me know what's on your mind. Comment. If you're new, thank you for coming. Subscribe, all that great stuff. Yo, I'm out. We are going to wrap it up, and we're gonna be back with season 3. We're gonna change up a couple of things. I got some things in mind that I want to do, and I hope the goal. You've been with me since season 1, that you've seen the growth and the progression as we went into season 2. That's the goal, to keep growing and doing the right thing. Share this with friends and family. If you know a young fellow photographer, share this video with them, because I make this rated PG. You know, I keep it nice and simple, put it in the bow and package it to you. With that being said, peace. See you next season.